Hello, in starting this video, I need to let you know that this is not a paid promotion video. I have bought this stuff with my own money. I really like it. I use it all the time. Today, I have an interesting story, at least I think it's pretty entertaining, about my introduction to Windsor and Newton oil paints. Now, Windsor and Newton oil paints are paints that I use quite often, and I really like them. And my introduction to them was really kind of humorous. So let me go back quite a few years. This is back into the fall of 1968 when I was a freshman at Brigham Young University. Yes, I'm that old. So my freshman year, 1968, at Brigham Young University, I was taking my very first oil painting class. And in this oil painting class, we were supposed to get a bunch of oil paints, obviously, and other art supplies. Now, I was putting myself through school. And so, of course, every single penny mattered. And I was looking at different oil paints to try to buy. And let me first of all say, this is not a slam to any other oil paint brand or anything like that. I knew absolutely nothing about oil paints. Didn't know there was such a thing as student grade. I didn't know there was such a thing as professional grade. All I knew is that we were supposed to go to the Student Union building, which is known as the Wilkinson Center. And there's a bookstore over there, and we could buy our oil paints over there. Well, I am being a cheap tightwad because I'm putting myself through school. And so I'm looking at these oil paints, and anything above about $1 or $2 was like totally expensive to me. And anyway, so what I did is I started looking around, and I was looking at different stores, and they were all carrying the same brand, which at that time, the big brand that they were using at Brigham Young University was Grumbacher. And like I said, I knew nothing about oil paints. And anyway, so I was looking all over the Student Union, the Wilkinson Center, and then I started looking at different stores around town in Provo. And I went to a couple of stores. They were carrying Grumbacher because that was really the popular thing for the students at Brigham Young. And I finally find this little place that's on Main Street in Provo. It's not there anymore. It was like this general store, it's one of those stores you knew in 1968 was going to be, eventually taken down and taken over by some other company or whatever. But I was walking through there, and then this little out-of-the-way place, I find a display of two brands of oil paints. Now, one was Grumbacher, hey, no big surprise there, and the other was called Windsor Newton, and I'd never heard about them before. And I was looking at the two displays, and Grumbacher was, nice and neat and tidy. And I looked at the Windsor Newton, and apparently the store owners and managers and apparently the people didn't know what they had because there was Windsor Newton paints, and I knew nothing about them. And the display was dusty, and all the paints had been discounted to be clearanced. And and they still hadn't been selling because I could tell they were dusty. So I thought, well, let me take a look. And it was the best price I could find in Provo. So I decided I'd go ahead and give it a try. And I was just mortified. I was having to buy these cheap paints. Oh my goodness, I was just so mortified. And so I finally go to my second class that I had there. And I was taking out my art supplies, and all these other people had the typical paint there, the Grumbachers, and I was feeling so just mortified. I was feeling so less than, and I was embarrassed. And anyway, so the painting instructor, or the teacher, he came around. He was looking at and says, "Okay, you got what you need, blah blah blah." And he came over and he looked at my paints and goes, "You got Windsor Newtons." And he just took some of these paints and he just held them to his chest like he was absolute heaven. And I'm going like, okay, I'm not sure what I did, but apparently I did something right. Well, come to find out, at that time, this type of paint, compared to the type of paints that they were using in the oil painting class, was much, much better. And so I've had good luck with them ever since, and I've been using them quite a bit ever since. And to me, they're a good cross between having a good, decent quality professional oil paint and not having to mortgage your house to buy them. So anyway, long story short, I've been using them ever since. I love them. I use other brands now. There are other brands that are compatible and comparable and good competition. But I've been using Windsor Newtons ever since. Oh, and by the way, I always call them Windsor Newtons because that's the way I learned them. But the real name is Windsor and Newton. And you get a couple of different types there. You get the typical Windsor Newton artist oil paints. And then they also have a student grade, which is called Windsor oil paints. So anyway, that's my story. I hope you had a good laugh. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up on the button below, and also please hit that subscription button if you would like to see more videos as they are published. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.